Hi, my name is Scott Horvath. I grew up in the neighborhood of Addison and Pulaski in Chicago. Went to St. Viator Grammar School. From grammar school, I went to Weber High School. At the semester of Weber, I failed 3 subjects. And in those days, you had to leave the high school because you could not make up 3 subjects at the half semester. So from there, I went to Holy Cross High School. I was heartbroken about having to leave Weber. So I failed out of Holy Cross High School. At that point, I went to Schurz, which was right by my house. If Holy Cross didn't interest me, Schurz wasn't going to interest me. So that is what brought me to the knowledge that I could join the service with my parents' signature. I just wasn't acclimated to school. I just couldn't adjust to school. I was impatient. I would get bored easy and want to move on, I guess. And that made me the class clown, disruptive, because I wasn't interested in what was happening there, which, of course, we all know is wrong. But there are other options in life besides school. I would totally recommend joining the military if you're having trouble in school. Went downtown, got sworn in, got put on a bus, went out to Great Lakes, and started my recruit training. I was in training for 8 weeks. Training, it was hard at some points, but it was really good as far as teaching organization and discipline, of course. From there, I came home for a week, and I went to California after 2 weeks' leave. Stayed at Treasure Island in San Francisco, which is a transport place for servicemen. And from there, I was put on the USS Mount Vernon, sailed out to sea past Hawaii. A Marine double prop helicopter came and picked a bunch of us up and flew us from the Mount Vernon, which was an amphibious ship with a deck on the back that helicopters could land on. So they flew us from the USS Mount Vernon to my ship, the USS Duluth, where I was stationed for my entire service. Aboard the Duluth, I was what was known as a bosun mate, a deck ape, seaman. I also found out years later that I'm also known for being in the Gator Navy. And they call it that because I was aboard an amphibious ship. And we all know alligators go on water and land, hence the amphibious. Like I said, from the Mount Vernon to the Duluth. At that point, we sailed for the South China Sea, and we were 15 or 20 miles off the coast of Vietnam. On the morning of April 29th, the Armed Forces radio aboard ship early in the morning played White Christmas. It was April. And this signaled the beginning of what was known as Operation Frequent Wind, which was the final evacuation of Saigon because the North Vietnamese were on their way to attack. So we did that for, I believe it was 9 hours or so, and we got out a lot of people in the thousands. I guess there would have to be about 1% consciousness that I was helping. Remember, I was 17 at the time. I was a young man, full of myself, okay? And to me, being in the Navy was a job. I did what I was told. I took orders. I didn't get in trouble in the Navy. The Navy did set me right. And as I said, I didn't think of it as helping. I didn't think of it as evacuation. I didn't think, actually. I was just doing a job and directing and feeding and helping these thousands of refugees, I guess would be the one word that stuck in my head at the time, refugees. And they threw around the word boat people, which is another name for refugees. We took them to Grande Island, which is an island south of the Philippines. And that's where most of them were put in tent cities. Like I said, I didn't really know I was helping people. Um, it did sink in that these people were hurting, though. There was a degree of empathy, of course, for them, and it's. I'm more thoughtful about it today than I was then, of course. I had no foresight, of course. In hindsight, I've thought about it, and I feel very fortunate to have survived. I do sometimes have survivor's guilt. I've dealt with that. I feel blessed to have gone through what I've gone through and be able to talk about it. And just hope that people realize that we're all, delicate, I guess, on this earth. We're delicate. And what's going on in the world is a lot more even than what I did.
What would you share with the 17-year-old Scott? What would you say to 17-year-old Scott now, given the experience that you've had?
I would try to teach 17-year-old me how to listen more. I mean, I don't know if you've ever heard it, but like we hear, but are we listening? See, I heard a lot of things when I was younger, but I didn't listen, as young people don't do. But if you have the opportunity, I know you hear, but take the opportunity to listen, because we can learn more by listening to what people say. Also, don't always feel that, I would tell myself, you don't always have to say something about everything. There's such a thing in this life called humility, and that's being quiet. If someone says something stupid and you know it's wrong, you don't have to correct them just because you know it's wrong. Be cool, relax. It's not going to hurt you to let them go. Let someone else correct them down the line. That's what I would have told myself. Be quiet, take it easy, don't be in a hurry. There are options in life. It's not the end of the road. It's not at 17. Instead of sitting on your hands and boo-hooing about things, get up. Take chances. If you don't like something, you can always change it. But you don't have to get mad about it and change it. Talk to people. Air it out with people. Talk to somebody. Don't keep it inside, because there are solutions for failure. There are ways out of the abyss.